Actually, not the mayor anymore. Number 31. So please raise your hand and let me pick on you or call on you. I'll pick on you. Yes. Yes. You come on right up. There's a microphone here set up. You can actually move it back. Thank you, Bill. Thank you. I'm Shay, 12 Irving Avenue. I personally want to thank you for all you've done for Englewood Cliffs and for all that you tried to do. I wanted to thank your family, especially your wife, Nancy, for allowing us to take so much of your time over these past 8 years. You always said you would be a career politician and you would only serve 2 terms. You have stuck to your word, even though many of us would have liked to have seen you remain. You always tried to do what was right and what was lawful. Many things could not be done because you did not have the support from the council. The park improvements from 2016, 2022, and 2023 are one glaring example. All we ever asked from the employees was to put the town first and not a political party. Unfortunately, that was a difficult goal. I wish you much success in the future in whatever you choose to take in the state of New Jersey or in the country. You have much to offer and we will miss you. As president of the Cliffs Republican Organization, ECRO, I am honored to present you with a plaque which reads, presented to me Kranjak, first Republican mayor in over 50 years, in grateful appreciation for your 8 years of untiring and devoted service as mayor of Englewood Cliffs, ECRO. I can take this gavel from you, January 2016 to January 2024. Thank you very much. There's a little joke in there about the gavel. I know. It's quite a joke. We had wrestling matches over that gavel. That was easy. That was fun, actually. So, anybody else wishing to be heard? Yep. No. Okay, good. I can motion to close the public portion, please. Second. Favor? Okay, great. We are now going to our agenda. There is a set of minutes to be approved from the December 13th, 2023 regular session meeting. Is there a motion to approve that? Motion to approve. Is there a second? Is there any discussion? Everyone's happy with the minutes? Have a roll call.
Member Lewis? Yes. Member Katurbis is absent. Member Kim?
Yes.
Council President Luciano? Member Simon?
Yes.
Member Di Gregorio?
Yes. Great. Okay, next up is the consent agenda. All consent agenda items will be enacted with a single motion. Any items requiring discussion will be removed from the consent agenda. They are as follows. 23-241, authorizing transfer of appropriations for calendar year 2023 municipal budget. 23-242, authorizing cancellation of unexpended balances from the appropriations for calendar year 2023 municipal budget. And 23-243, authorizing cancellation of unexpended balances of improvement authorizations in the general capital fund. Have a motion to approve those. Motion to approve. Have a second, please. Second. Okay, any discussion?
Okay, let's have a roll call, please.
Member Valori,
Abstain.
Member Kachubis is absent. Member Kim,
Yes.
Council President Luciano,
Aye.
Member Simon,
Yes.
Member Di Gregorio.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay, so that piece of business is completed. And next on the agenda are the mayor's end of year comments. We've been through this before. This one is a little special, a little different. Okay, so good evening again, everyone, and thank you for being here. Please have Nancy's and my best wishes for the new year. Permit me to start my farewell by saying that Nancy and I met at Fordham when we were 18 years old and have a great life and marriage together with much to celebrate and so many wonderful experiences, but nothing like the last 8 years. She reminded me that today. She has been resolute and intrepid in supporting me as mayor and as residents. I thank her for that every day. And tonight, I thank you, Nancy. Indeed, she was a great first lady of Englewood Cliffs. What she doesn't see, she makes up with her vision. I also think that my children, and I also thank my children and their spouses for their support over the last 8 years. I am truly blessed. As mayor, I always did what I said I would do, and that is a self-imposed 2-term limit as your mayor. I think it's a healthy thing for democracy that people limit their own terms if the law doesn't. I am immensely grateful to have been your mayor. After 8 years, over 200 public meetings, thousands of hours of volunteer work. That's right. I have no salary. It's time to say goodbye. I believe that in October 2020, we even set the record for the longest mayor council meeting in the state of New Jersey, clocking at 12 and a half hours. It was a long night. The day after I was first elected, one of the Democrat council candidates told the board elected that I would fire anyone who works for the borough. My response to the reporter was that I didn't have the authority to fire anyone or to terminate his employment, but more importantly, these are people with families. So whoever has a job working for the borough and does their job should keep their job regardless of politics. Just get politics out of Borough Hall on both sides. I repeated this over and over through the years. To those who remain as employees, I thank you. To those who left, life lesson learned. A special thank you goes out to Rosemary Weber for her great work. I really appreciate her being there. I thank our DPW workers who are outside in all types of weather, making our town beautiful. I saw them yesterday walking town. It was cold. I go out for runs in the morning, so it's easy. You're running and you're done, right? You go take a hot shower. Be back there all day. So stop, say hello, be courteous. I also thank our police officers and firefighters for being whatever needed. It's amazing how quickly they respond. The police, of course, respond right away. The fire department, these are volunteers. Thank you, Michael. I know you're one of them. These are volunteers. They show up. And I don't like to hear a lot of sirens, but it's important to keep us safe. And you can some of the situations our residents get into over the years. And a lot of it could be avoided. So I encourage everyone to be careful with their fireworks and everything else. I also thank Sheree, you're a great CFO. You know your stuff, and it was great to have someone here who knew what they were doing. Thank you very much. I wish you all the best. Thank you to Mr. Neville, who's superintendent of DPW, Chief Henkelman. Thank you as well, and Matt Meekow, fire chief. You guys did a great job. So, after 42 years. I think I do this every year. After 42 years of one family and one party government in Englewood Cliffs, we have just had 8 years of a 2-term Republican mayor. I always said that I was a transition mayor. And I was always reminded that it would not be easy for anyone to restore our democracy here in Cliffs. And I always said that you can't fix America without fixing our towns. I did all that, and I am very glad that I succeeded. So another Republican who until August was actually asking me to take his place on the ballot. But I'm glad he won. Mark, he'll be fine. Congratulations. Mark, please continue doing what I did. Keep politics out of Borough Hall. Never take a meeting alone with anyone. Anyone. Keep a very clear line between government and business. Don't get conflicted. Fight like hell for our residents. They deserve it because no one else in New Jersey is fighting for them. Trust me, I know. I've seen these people. They do not fight for your residents, for our residents. Be courteous to everyone and treat everyone equally without any favors. After all, there are no favors in politics. There's only courtesy or corruption. There's nothing in between. Now, let's go back 8 years. The night I was first elected in 2015, we had about 200 people come through our house in celebration. Thankfully, it was a beautiful evening. We were outside, we were inside, we were upstairs, we were downstairs, we were everywhere. Even the dog behaved. So getting to our house was somewhat of a tumultuous foretelling of the next 8 years. Remember that now? Yeah. You see, in the day before the election, our street was dug up for repaving. It was unwalkable, undrivable, and unthinkable that that would be done then. Funny how after living with potholes for 20 years, it was that week that when my predecessor decided to rip up and pave our street. Rest assured, the celebration went on. Most importantly, that night our residents and our taxpayers won the election and then my re-election 4 years later. Our residents finally had a mayor on their side and not on the side of a corrupt political machine. A social justice mob was rolling through society, looking to take money and rights away from hardworking Americans. Our residents finally had a mayor that he said he would do. Restored the law. Our residents finally had a mayor do what he said he would do. Keep their property taxes low without cutting services. It's very important. And you don't realize this, but about 70% of our budget is fixed. So we only have 30% of our budget to actually do anything with. I'll get more of that later. Our residents finally had a mayor who always supported police for the reasons they exist, to keep us safe. Not for the political reasons former Chief Chaffee had used them for. Today, our police department is once again a professional police department, one of the best in the state of New Jersey, and I thank Chief Henkelman for the quick and decisive turnaround. Enough said. Our residents finally had a mayor who told the press the way things are, and not the way they wanted to make them. The Star Ledger editorial board and their fellow journalist Tom Moran called me the Trumpy mayor of Old Cliffs. So what? President Trump had great policies and perseverance. And by the way, I was mayor before President Trump was president. The Burke Records virtue signaling Mike Kelly applauded the mayhem of BLM and defund the police, which I called him out on. Then his eyewitness uses Anthony Johnson, who was going to name calling because he didn't like a mayor following laws. These so-called journalists and their former news platforms are the biggest danger we Americans face because they are not reporting news, they are creating news, and they are recklessly broadcasting it. Be careful what you read. Our residents finally had a mayor who restored the rule of law, even when it was unpopular with our social justice warriors living in their $2 million homes. Protests. As it turns out, I knew then, and we know now, what a scam and defund the police movements were. Sadly, we had Councilman DeGregorio and Councilman Sabari supporting them and their hatred. Speaking of the man's law, when I became mayor, the push was for legalized recreational drugs. Right. Everybody could smoke pot and get high and drive a car and kill people, right? And my email box was full of that misdirected nonsense. Now, my inbox is full of emails promoting drug treatment programs. Who would have thought if you legalize drugs, people are going to have mental problems and need counseling? Now, who thought that? Not your legislature in New Jersey, not Ellen Park, not Bernie Johnson. Not the people who actually care about you. They just care about the money coming into their campaigns from lobby groups. Be careful. Everything starts small. Well, let's legalize drugs. Next thing you know, we have a lot of problems. I ride my bike on IW every Saturday and Sunday for the last 34 years. I go up to Pima, the Nyack and back. And now when you pass by cars, you can actually smell that rain that come out of cars. So I'm sharing the road with cars driving with people who are high. All right. So this is what your state has done. This is what Governor Murphy has done. I leave it to you to guess who's profiting from legal drugs, and it's not society as a whole. A resident finally had a mayor. They have to have parents decide what their children are taught and exposed to at school. Thank you, School Superintendent Jennifer Brower, for your leadership. Continue to keep CRT and other hatreds out of our schools. Our residents finally had a mayor who could care less about the pettiness of town councils on both sides of the political divide. Control, power, and personal matters should not be the goals of elected office. Further, the interests of our residents should be the guiding light, guiding Tim learning lessons. Our residents finally had a mayor who did not belong to the affordable housing lobby and their neighbors who will spend your money until it's all theirs. We in the community who always did, well, there is no discrimination in housing or employment. For 42 years, affordable housing in Englewood Cliffs was not an issue. But when it became mayor, it became a war. I told you we have no affordable housing units in town when I was mayor, and we don't today, despite all odds. All judges, all masters, all special masters, all made-up housing officials, the so-called Fair Share Housing Coalition, all planners, all lawyers, and the press, all against us. Keep the fight going, Mark. Keep the fight going. Your own Democrat council majority at the time of settling the affordable housing case of Versa Song in Allen Park. I tried to give away the town to their political friends. When I slowed them down as best as I could, including at that fateful 12.5-hour town meeting, we may never know why they turned on our residents. We may never know. We do know that 3 of them have moved out of town, which speaks volumes, and 1 of them failed upward to the state assembly. None of the affordable housing proponents that I mentioned ever speak about people who actually need affordable housing. It never comes up because they just don't care. It's not about them. All we ever hear about is how terribly unfair it is to developers to not be able to double the population of a town with their fire trap high density housing units. Now that those developers provide ample political donations to politicians who get elected and re-elected to keep the whole sham going. Keep the fight going. The state of New Jersey is unaffordable, not because there isn't enough housing. It's unaffordable because of terrible anti-taxpayer policies, high spending, irresponsible government, and government that suck funds out of hardworking tax-paying, law-abiding residents. It's crazy what Democrats in control of our state have done to a great, once pro-business state. Sure, Congressman jump up and down over the city's congestion pricing. But he and the others in Congress created the failing cities and failing states that are destroying America and our way of life. And they have to turn except more taxes on people like you. Josh, spare us your self-righteous indignation over congestion pricing. You and your fellow travelers lit the fire that is burning down America. Do us all a favor and leave public office. In fact, most of your elected officials should leave public office. I'll get to more of that later. Our press and misguided politics give us leaders like Gauheimer, Murphy, and Menendez. And now Murphy's wife. For years, Senator Menendez could care less about you in America. All he cared about were the free vacations with his friends, some of whom are convicted or indicted, and now he has been indicted for bribery, corruption, and being a foreign agent. He sold us out. Plain and simple. He sold us out. He's our neighbor. He sold America out, but it was never an issue until other Democrats wanted his job. He's been doing that for years. Somebody else wants his job, so now it's a problem for him. It's also notable and speaks loudly that it was not the U.S. Attorney for New Jersey who indicted him, but rather it was the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York. But he lives here. So now we are being told that it's okay to replace Menendez's alleged corruption with Candy Murphy's nepotism. Think about that. One guy's corrupt and the other one's related to the governor, and she thinks she's going to become our next senator. Do a favor, stand in her way. And that, folks, is why our political leaders should all be replaced. A year ago, before Menendez's indictments, we said that that a distracted America is a devil's playground. Well, Menendez was in charge of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee until recently, and now we fire, and the breakdown tactical nuclear detonated. If any of you believe our current national leadership can put out the fires, I don't. Speaking of Governor Murphy, during the COVID pandemic, I participated in a weekly man's call. I mostly listened to the hysteria the population control. We were careful in England because we hadn't completely shut down. The parks were open. We had cases of COVID. Listen to the governor because he knows everything. Well, I guess the governor, I can explain to our residents what the governor and the Attorney General Gabriel Greenwald population isolation at home for everyone except themselves and their fellow street protesters. Did the COVID virus not go to street protests? You will surely recall that Murphy and Greenwald were photographed marching arm in arm with hundreds of others. Well, we were told to stay home and socially distance. My question was never answered. This hypocrisy, however, started well before the BLM protests and well before the defund the police protest. He and I met in early 2016 when I became mayor and he became Bergen County prosecutor. I had asked him to investigate police overtime abuse under a former police chief. After a few weeks, I had attended a meeting with Greenwald to find out the results of his investigation. It's always interesting when I'm the only person in the room not getting paid, and the people getting paid aren't doing their jobs. He concluded that there was no overtime abuse, according to his investigators, which included one investigator, a friend of the person who investigated. New Jersey. I raised a clear conflict of interest and Greenwald threw me out of his office. As things go in New Jersey, Greenwald failed upwards to become New Jersey's Attorney General, and he's now at the Securities and Exchange Commission. Indeed, he and Murphy have a bright future telling you how to live your lives. Well, there's a chairs here. You come up. I delivered on all my promises. No elected official can say that in the state of New Jersey. It wasn't, and we clearly had and still have judges, developers, the governor, the legislature, and crony and farmlands all working against us. And Mark, you and your team keep the fight going. If you need any advice on how to do the fight, let me know. I'm happy to help you out. Now, all of the accomplishments were accomplished with the hard work and support of my wife, Nancy, Mary, Pam, and Tim O'Shea, Ramona Libby Farrell, Patricia and Joseph Casada, and their children, Bill Maloney, Carol McMahon, Larry Sword, Kim Zemecki, Andy Zemecki, Maria Maloney, Russ Perino, Angela Chen, Kyle and Rita Hutchins, Clint Hubbard, just in time, Vincent and Maria Margiata, and their children, Chris Russell, Don Clovia, Fan May, and who someday will be there, and everyone else who helped me these past years. Thank you very much. Really appreciate everything you've done. And to those who unfairly challenged or attacked me, try harder next time. I, the truth, won and you lost. I close by wishing Mark, Z, and Lincoln Begets good luck. And by wishing all of you a happy, healthy, and prosperous new year. Thank you. Thanks. Next up, in our agenda, council end of year comments. Anybody have any comments? Okay,
I have a comment.
sure.
I'd like to congratulate the candidates that won, Mr. Mark Park, C. Yang, and Rivka Begats, and I look forward to working with you. And I would look forward to concentrating on the needs of the residents in this town and concentrate on the good that we can do as council members. It's been an honor to be elected. It's been an honor to serve for this year. And we can't forget that we're not in national politics. We're not in state politics. We're in local politics. And if we focus on local politics, your house values, collecting the garbage, beliefs, all of those services, out of the box thinking also that will distinguish our town. I think we'll be on the right track. And I think also that political parties on the municipal level are counterproductive. We need to work together as a group of elected officials of this town. The division has cost this town and you, the taxpayers, many, many millions of dollars. Can't have that anymore. So thank you very much for the opportunity to speak, and congratulations again to everybody.
I'd like to say something, Mr. Mayor. I would like to say something. I'd like to congratulate Mark Park and Z and Rivka. Congratulations. I hope you come up here and do a great job. I would also like to thank Mayor Kranjak, who put in countless hours. And although maybe sometimes some people may have disagreed, I think that he put his best foot forward. And for him, it is the country because, you know, we need not to just concentrate on the town. I agree we work together, but we also have to work together with our state because they affect what we have to do. That's the layers upon us. And so I hope that we can work together. Thank you so much for having this really is.
I'd like to say something to you, our former mayor, Mike Kranjak. I want to thank you for your 8 years of service. I know it's not easy, but I know my party would disagree with you on many issues, but I thank you for the hours and the hard work that you put in. I thank your family for supporting Mario throughout the years, and I thank you for at least for my year serving as council member for being courteous and polite to me. So thank you very much.
So I also want to congratulate our new mayor, Mark Park. 축하합니다. I want to congratulate the incoming council members, councilors, Rivka and Mr. Liang. I look forward to working with all three of you. I hope we get a lot accomplished for the better of our town. Thank you very much. Thank you, Chris. You know, Chris, one of George Washington's first rules of civility was be courteous, even if others aren't. So I hope people will continue doing that.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
I'd just like to wish everybody a happy, healthy new year, and I wish you all the best.
Okay, thanks. Is there any unfinished business? If not, we can adjourn to sign die. I wish everyone a happy new year. I'm taking Nancy out to dinner. You know, I should mention that there were meetings I conducted from flights over the Pacific, and people were wondering why there was background noise. And I was on a 12-hour flight, and You know, it's possible to do this job and still do your other job that actually pays you. So I think over the years, like even last year, I was to Japan 3 times, Egypt, Nigeria, Zurich. It's a lot. It is a lot, but it all can be worked out. So good luck, everyone, and thank you. Have a motion to adjourn. What's the motion?
To adjourn?
Yeah, motion to adjourn. And then we'll reopen later for the board. Okay, thank you, everyone.
Agenda. Is the end of office, is I do this, we're gonna do May last, May 1st, and May 1st. Okay, at this point, we'd like to, and the oath of office administered to Mayor Mark M. Park, Judge, no, that's the wrong agenda.
Yeah, it's still the judgment. It's actually on this paper, but it's still the judgment.
It's the judge.
And Judge, that's what I'd like to ask, is that, I'm sorry,
Judge Calvin.
Calvin, I didn't know that was wrong, Judge Calvin, on.
Judge Karen, Judge for the past 2 months, and Cliffs, it's been so fun. And pleasure to serve the board with him. Today, I am honored and privileged to swear in my first election. I could say more than correct, that would be great. The first, Cliffs is is that right? So today's a good day. I'm very excited for that. It's wonderful to see people presented with different things to work and myself. Get away to serve the community. Mr. Martin, are you ready? Come on. Okay, put your hand on, put your right hand. And raise your right hand. Okay, please repeat after me. I, Mark M. Park, do solemnly swear. That I will support the Constitution of the United States.
I will support the Constitution of the United States
And the Constitution
and the Constitution
of the State
of the state.
of New Jersey. True faith.
True faith.
To the same.
Say
To the governments
government
established
that established
in the United States
in the United States
and this state
and state
under the authority
with the authority of the people.
and faithfully,
So basically,
impartially,
actually,
justly
and justly
perform
perform all the duties of mayor
according to the best of my ability
according to the best of my knowledge, my ability. So help me God.
You sign this?
He doesn't.
He's got to sign here.
Lost out on 1 million.
Happy to play in my book. Let's call. Who's last?
Your council person elect Z Liang.
Mr. Ryan, come on up. Come on up. You have a Bible? Oh, I need your.
Sure.
Do you want this? I'm going to want to be.
Thank you. I'm going out of here. Okay, please place your hand down. And these are the, you ready? Okay, so repeat after me. I, Philip Z.
Yeah.
Do solemnly swear.
Swear.
That I will support the Constitution of the United States.
The Constitution of the United States.
The State of New Jersey.
And the Constitution of New Jersey. Their true faith.
To the same. established in the state and this state.
That's all the people.
I will faithfully,
Respond.
justly perform the office of councilman according to the best of my ability. So help me God. God, I do this. Yeah, let me sign this. Here you go, you want to sign this, Mr. Leanne, councilman? Please sign here. There you go. There you go. Man. Okay, seeing the best to the last, right? Come on up. Thank you. Come on up. Beacons. Okay, please place your hands on the Bible. What's your Bible? Okay, I, Richard Budas, do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey. And I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same and to the governments established in the United States and this state under the authority of the people. I will faithfully, impartially, and justly perform all the office of councilperson. All the duties of the office of councilperson. According to the best of my ability. According to the best of my ability. So, congratulations. Need to sign.
Give me another chair on that. Yes.
Yeah, that's what we need. There we go.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. Congratulations to everybody. Congratulating the wisdom and the knowledge to govern effectively. Hold on, I just want to take everything. All right. This way? Yeah.
It's like that. I'm going to say. Yeah. Okay, thumbs up. I asked if they needed a chair, I said, no, I'm fine. I'm just gone.
Excuse me.
There's some good for something. Thank you so much. Now, Judge, happy we have us need it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Check
Another shit. So there's no need. Another shit. Sitting outside.
It's I take your time. Oh, some. Yes, we start. You can choose where you want to start. I think it's good. You're popular. It's been never changed. You can come to see. Because right now, what I have. This is everything that's now.
Yes.
Statement first. Mayor Park, Member Di Gregorio,
Here.
Member Liang.
Here.
Member Begets. Yes. Member Kim,
Yes.
Member Simon. Member Simon. She's here. I see her on.
She's muted.
Yes. Which. Member Simon.
I'm
Member
here.
Simon, can you hear me? Yes, okay. Member Begets is here. I'm sorry. Member Luciano.
I'm present.
Yeah. Let's start with. What we know, sorry for the cut. Oh, okay. So.
Pledge allegiance.
Because you don't flag. So. Just say. It's. Yeah. Okay, that's, okay. Okay, as the problem. Okay, Mr. Harper, would you come to and invitation clause? Well, where is Mike? Standing, oh, yeah, I'm so sorry. Okay.
Why don't you put it on? It's not.
Store, oh God. Just routine now. Become in celebration. For truly what we do have this evening is a blessing, which many of us don't appreciate because it happens year after year after year. This decision for who lead us is not decided by guns, violence, by speaking, debating, and voting. So first, dear Lord, we thank you that we've been blessed with a nation where we can do this in peace. That you will fill our hearts with your spirit, that we contribute to this environment of peace in this town, in this process of our lives. We celebrate, we have elected a mayor, councilman, a council person, and we pray for your blessings upon them. Fill them with your spirit. Upon them, your wisdom, your knowledge, your understanding, insight. And this is not just for women, but for our entire council. As I said before, this is not a time for party division. It is a time to serve. As Councilman DiGregorio reminded us, and we asked Lord that that spirit will guide our council going forward. There will be debate, and sometimes intense, and sometimes passionate, for we are all, regardless of party, we can truly care about our town and about our nation. I pray, Lord, as meetings become heated, that each will look at the other and remember that we are each human beings with that dignity and respect. Should the situation call for it, to take a step back and deep breath before the conversation continues. If it is hard to come to a conclusion, maybe we take the time to pray together rather than weaponize words. Town, fight in shining state of how we handle disagreement and how we lead. Spirit of collegiality and congeniality, a spirit of your peace, the peace beyond all understanding. Bless each of them now, Lord, in this year. As members of the town, it's dedicated as though they will be here to meetings. Such what is being said. Speak to each of the councilmen, council people, graciously, inquisitively, encouragingly. These jobs are true jobs of public service. There isn't pay. Bless them, Lord, in abundance with your strength, with your stamina, with your wisdom, with your peace, and our town be a model of your love. And that way about in a very practical way, and when these decisions are made, and as town citizens participate. Bless all in attendance here, Lord, and bless our council, and may the citizens of this town commit ourselves to praying for each and every one of them and their families. Pray that you will bless their families, keep them safe, and guard and guide our council. And may this be a year that we look back and say, truly, God was present with us. We ask all this in your precious name.
That's
Adequate notice of this meeting has been provided in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Law, PM 1975, Chapter 231, setting for the time, date, place, and purpose of this public meeting to legal notice, published in the record, posted on the bulletin board and on the borough website.
Okay, next, agenda is. This item, okay. So that's again, I would say, so that's for the specific items, okay? Okay.
Council President?
Madam Clerk, was there an appointment being made for council president?
Okay, it's next on the agenda.
No, she heard you.
Simon, it's next on the agenda.
Yeah.
No, it keeps getting muted.
Okay, so I want to start about the. Okay. So, Council President.
Is it confirmation for council president?
Nomination there.
Borough Clerk, I can hear nothing.
Simon's doing.
Okay.
So that's what she's asking about.
Has there been someone nominated for council president?
We're taking right now.
Somebody decided to do it.
I'm on the motion.
I'm gonna call in again.
Right, she's not muted.
That's why.
I'm not muted. You just can't hear anything.
Our council, can make a motion.
That's what you call me.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Seconding, that's why.
Yes, please.
Simon, can you call me my phone, please? I'll put you up, I'll put you on speaker.
It's not really a resolution. Less.
And then call her.
Yes. Well, at least, yeah, it's like they got the call. As soon as they can use it, can make an appointment for them, they're using it. You better, it's no more. I just saw it installed.
Okay, I'm gonna put you on speaker. You're calling me now. You can get off the Zoom. Okay, all right, I'm gonna put you on speaker right now. Hold on. Oh, I have 6 coffees.
There you go.
Thank you.
Just, you can go to a microphone.
I'll make a motion to nominate for council president, Councilman Luciano.
Council, Simon, can be.
Member Simon, Member Kim nominated Mr. Luciano for council president.
Are you looking for a second?
Yes, I am.
You have it.
And so in first, yes. No.
Member King,
No.
member,
No.
member Kim,
Yes.
member Simon,
Yes.
member Luciano.
Aye.
It's a tie.
So this is a.
Regarding council president, it requires a majority of the council's number, which means it has to have 4 votes. The mayor doesn't break a tie like a traditional vote. Although under the statute would essentially have council, the 6 of you don't collectively agree on somebody, then in this meeting, then the mayor can pick. Anyways, it doesn't have to be the people nominated, he can pick whoever he wants, if there's not 4 votes.
Doesn't the statute say mayor and council should offer?
It
Just as
says-
council
it
for?
says a majority of its number. It doesn't say majority voting, it says a majority of its numbers, which would typically indicate that it's a majority of the full council, 4 votes. Is required, and then it says that in the case that it doesn't, you can't agree with 4 votes, then the mayor can either break the tie, set you can pick between the 2 or 3, however it gets.
Oh, yeah, so the mayor does have the tie-breaking vote.
It's hypothetically, we had a tie. Okay, the mayor doesn't have to vote on whether he wants to run or not. There could be another nomination. Let's just say hypothetically you were nominated and it splits 3-3 again. And you all down, the mayor could come back and say, and Rick could be council president, even though nobody nominated her and there was no votes on her.
Oh,
So then you just- Yeah, you understand.
A second motion.
For council president.
So motion, I'll nominate myself.
Okay. That's possible.
Second,
Second. Second. Okay. Please.
member Eagle,
Yes.
member,
Yes.
member Yates. Member Kim,
No.
member Simon,
No.
member Luciano.
No.
Sorry again.
So close the line. Okay. So this is a okay, so then okay. Okay.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear what Mayor said.
The mayor's not gonna make any nomination right now. The statute says that essentially.
Mr. Bonstein.
Mayor.
Next.
Okay.
I don't
Number
remember.
8. Number 8.
We have different.
Our T content and where is it? I'm sorry. I have so many. I have a start, that's right.
If we do adoption of rules of order and bylaws.
This is number 9.
Yes, and number 9, this would be a vote on approving your bylaws, adopting Robert's rules of order, and mayor, to the extent that you have just the voting order, the seating order, things like that.
Gotcha.
So the number. Let's have an agenda.
I think this is an old one. Oh, yeah. Richard.
Yes. that's-
Okay, thanks. I'm sorry.
If you mean,
Okay, you got enough?
take this one.
We can pass. I have it, just said that.
So number 9.
You have to remember. Okay. Adopt rules of order and bylaws. Should I have a motion and a second to adopt the bylaw?
Motion.
Okay.
Just, I'm sorry. I don't think that's discussion.
Okay.
Second?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh. Yes. Also, any discussion?
Switch discussion, not sure what the rules. Government, rules for, I just want to make it perfect. And we're voting on
be governed by Robert's rules of order and bylaws. Is that what the motion is?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
And the current. bylaws, right?
Yes, the current has to be comments. Simple, thank you.
Except there may be instances where your bylaws. Not applicable to your bylaws would supersede Robert's rules if your bylaws specifically. It's silent. Your bylaws would adopt them. Today also, your bylaws also do adopt them by first record.
Yes.
Member Kenny?
Yes.
Member Vigas? Yes. Member Kim?
Yes.
Member Simon?
Yes.
Member Luciano?
Aye.
And passes.
Yes, also, also I wanted to. Voting with members in the world facing at the west. You have it, right?
Yeah, right here. But there should be two separate votes.
Yeah.
Yes.
They're asking for a vote on the voting order as proposed by the mayor is. William, it'll be the last name is in the voting order, proposed by the mayor. Kim, Simon, Luciano, Di Gregorio, yes, and Liang. That will be voted on by the council, approving that voting.
Motion. Motion.
Second. Yes, it's Kim, Simon, Luciano, Di Gregorio, Rivka, Liang. Voting order, that's what that's being discussed right now. And there was a motion by Councilman Di Gregorio.
And second by Zach. Okay.
Member Kim?
No.
I'll tell you what, point of order, Mr. Man. I guess until the vote is taken, what the way it was until we change the order of the voting, just procedurally.
Member Di Gregorio?
Yes.
Member Simon? I'm sorry, Member Liang?
Yes.
Member Vigas? Yes. Member Kim? Member Simon? No. Member Luciano?
No.
Mr. Ty?
Yes.
Mr. Ty? Okay.
Then
Yes, he voted yes.
the second motion is on the proposed seating. We decided a day is to just is it like we're looking at it, or is there the other? So Simon would be. So. Yes, this would be a motion, do I'll look at the rule of order bylaws since it's all procedural votes. The mayor's proposing. Councilwoman, it's starting on the left side of the dais, if you're sitting to the dais, so closest to the closed section conference room, it would be. Like, Simon, Di Gregorio, Rich Wentz, Kim, New Zealand.
Just understand the proceeding right now.
It's just.
Probably Simon like that.
The proposal for the mayor is close to this order, but. Reverse sides.
Oh, reverse sides, okay.
That's what we're gonna, we can't understand.
Here's the proposal would be as Simon, Di Gregorio, the action. Kim, Luciano.
The second. And yours.
Second.
Well, I'd like to make a motion to, have the it seems like everything is split, like, I mean, you have an issue. And I'm just trying to understand, we already have the vote on the that you have, what's the difference where we sit, and I'm just trying to understand, so I make a motion to table.
No. Second. Okay. We don't want to. No,
It's the table.
Yeah. I don't understand what the logic is, if you know where you sit, but. Excuse me? Okay, certainly will support. Okay,
Seating order. Okay. Thank you.
Yes. We do that. So March.
Member Simon? Yes. Member Luciano? Member Hubert?
No.
Member Jones?
No.
Okay.
No.
Member Charles? Okay. Member Kim?
No.
Member Simon? No. Member Luciano? Member Hubert?
There was no discussion. I just wanted to make one quick comment. As right, you have an opportunity for comment. There's times where I may have to step over and assist you if you have technical difficulties, which I'm glad to do. Based on my vote was canceled. Well, yes, sir. Yes. Yes.
I suggest that the C order gets implemented at the next meeting, since everyone is thoroughly situated with it.
I think.
Yes.
Motion probably opens.
Comments, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Just a reminder to the new council members and to everybody, the bylaw has been adopted, for 5 minutes. Comments are an opportunity for the public to speak to the governing committee. Any answer if they choose to, it's not, they're not required to answer questions in public comment. But it's a reminder to the new members, so reflective for the future members.
Thank you, Noah. So.
I don't see anything.
You want to indicate to people online that they should electronically raise their hand if they have the comment.
So you're ready.
Well, I
He said if you're. You can just lift your hand.
If you want to, let's yeah. Okay.
We just need a motion to close public.
Second. Okay. Let's
There's a second, you just need a,
yes, so. Which is all, yeah, okay. And then next item is okay, Tony. Consent agenda. And so what I'm going to do is show that I items, so I'm going to take it was includes and even the same
Some of them, so rejecting. So. Most of them. I'm sure, right? I'm proud of that.
Okay, should items I will identify which items you want to see. There could be a motion to table those items. Depending on how that comes out, we can then vote on it.
It's so little at this time. So outside of could you come in for us? But you
This is the worst recording. You can't
What is the mayor?
It's spiritual.
It's just so it's funny that we should dedicate banks to depositories. This is the list of banks. Oh, we should see if there's interest rates or agreements from the banking entities. The only comment from the legal standpoint is I believe that you do need to designate the depositories at the beginning of the year. It changed on this resolution for everybody's knowledge, new council members, everybody lists like 5 or 6 different banks, which are essentially right now options that the CFO will have to. I actually believe 2 or 3 years ago, I was during at the time the council did amend this list during the year. I forget if we added or took people off. So you can shop at RFPs with banks, discuss the financial opportunities, but you do need to have official depositories. If you did the next meeting, it's not the end of the world, but you can't put off this for 3 months. You put it off to the next meeting, but you couldn't do it.
Mr. Mayor, banking institution that didn't meet these. Gumpra or whatever it is, it's a requirement that the banks have to have to keep the state to be able to have our funds. So I forget the actual acronym for it. So I just want to make sure that, you know, I think we have, as you said, there's like 5 or 6 people so if someone's.
Yes, it's just this. Let's see, resolution 4-12 through 24-47. Filter.
Those are all the appointments.
So those can be able to.
Well, some of these things are. That is so good information. So. We go close about it. So first, and then we can. Professional. If you choose the next item, that's about okay. So I'm going to check.
That's the thought. The consent agenda we're talking about now is simply items 24 through 24, and the mayor has proposed table in 24 the bank depository. It's fixing the insurance says enumerated as separate like yeah, I thought it was on consent. Yeah. And 2410 authorizing the action management. This is the town has more opportunity to look at those items. Okay.
So this is a motion. Okay, so I agree with that. And it's important that we shop around to get the best interest rates and the requirements of the state. So
better stage.
yeah, well.
Yeah, second. I'm sorry. Did you do?
I know the motion, yeah.
This is the motion to table.
Yes. Well, it's a consent agenda. Consent agenda, you usually either be separated or you accept it as a whole.
Yeah,
If the motion can be reversed from the consent agenda and vote on those separately, and then you make the motion to table as procedure. You can-
you're not entirely wrong, so you could do it as a motion to remove from the consent agenda and table, you could do it. So I think that's David, that's your motion to remove from the consent agenda and table. 2404, 2408, 2410. Okay, so that's the motion to remove and to table those three items.
Member Simon,
Somebody second. Yes, wait a second.
James. Member Ken,
Yes.
member Luciano,
No,
member Di Gregorio,
Yes.
member Begets,
Yes.
member Leon.
Yes.
Passes forward.
Those items are table and you're left with the original consent agenda, which is 2401 for meeting dates, 2402 for newspapers, 2403 for the official holidays, 2405 for the adoption of the temporary budget. That's set by statute. It's a percentage of the last year's budget. It's allowed to pay your bills in the meantime. 2406 is to authorize the signatories on by the payroll. 07 is authorized signatories on the payroll expenditures. 09 is the authority to tax collect the checks, and 11 is for the petty cash for the finance department. Stay with a little my.
As the ability to sign payroll.
Yeah, it's that the look, it's the payroll is yeah, there.
So
That's what the resolution says. Payroll checks would be for signatory would be the CFO. Is authorized to sign the payroll checks, I'm sorry. That's correct. And Councilman, you were asking about the temporary budget. As everyone, well, may be aware, the budget by city law is generally has to be introduced sometime in late February or March time. Yeah. And you're supposed to vote on it sometime in April or May. But in the meantime, you have to pay those. You have to operate. So it's set, I think it's like 37.5 or 39.5% of last year's budget, which allows you to pay bills essentially for the first quarter for right now. It doesn't lock you into any individual expenditures specifically. You can amend your budget, reduce your budget, raise your budget, whatever. It just allows you to pay bills. And then you may need to come back at the end of March if you haven't passed the budget yet. Most people haven't, and then do it again to extend your temporary budget through June. Whether you approve the budget, hate the budget, love the budget, just to be able to take. Yeah, can we table this particular item as well? So please, which one? I'd like to make the motion to table that. The document that we're about to we do it at the next meeting, the next week. There's just been no discussion between any council members regarding budget appropriations. Yeah, so just to be clear, the council couldn't, adopt the temporary budget at the next meeting, but just be aware that until the temporary budget is adopted, the borough can't pay anything. No payroll checks go out, no electric bills get paid. Nobody, next week is a mayor council. Yes, yeah. I don't want to think anything needs to get paid in the next, well, it's 10 days, but.
So wait.
Yeah.
Yeah, the CFO. I mean.
Let's say that you can test this within the first 30 calendar days.
Okay.
And technically, since we just started the new year, we don't really have real expenditures with the expenditure, with the exception. Which is this Friday. So, but if you pass it at the next week's meeting, it will not, you'll get, it will be within 30 days.
There you go. So,
And the percentage is 26.25% of last year's budget, and you are well below that limit, so, just so.
Yeah, okay, gotcha.
yeah, that's.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Which is 26% of the budget, right? So the CFO has just clarified that if you do it at the next meeting or anytime in January, really, you're okay. So this can be tabled without any financial consequences to the township in the short term. If we're pushing the end of January and it hasn't been adopted, that we have a different situation, but the motion would be to table 2405.
And we had a second from Ms. Luciano.
No, it's not.
Member Kim,
Yes.
member Simon,
Yes.
member Luciano.
Yeah.
Member Di
No.
member Yates,
Yes.
member Leon,
Yes.
motion passes.
Okay.
So now we have to do a motion for the rest, correct?
Right, so we've been looking for a motion for the rest of the items, 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 9, 11.
Yeah,
1, 2, 3, 6.
7.
seven, 9, 11. Okay,
Motion, yes, motion.
Second.
okay.
Member Kim,
Yes.
member Simon,
Yes.
member Luciano,
Abstain.
member Di Gregorio,
Yes.
member Yates,
Yes.
member Leon.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Really? Make a quick comment. I was alerted that there was a resident that wished to comment previously. Can we allow that open to the public just so the resident, she had a problem getting connecting, so
Make the motion.
I'd like to make a motion to open to the public to allow a resident that wished to comment before to comment now.
Second.
Second.
All right.
Once.
Well, Mrs. Savari.
Is she?
Mrs. Savari, you can unmute yourself.
Can you
Mrs.
hear-
Savari? Yes,
Can you hear me?
yes, perfectly.
Okay, well, you guys, very difficult to hear. Meeting has been, the only person who's speaking is Ernie, and I could says, but everything else has been muffled, just so you know. So I don't know if you've already put in the new speaker system, but if you did, it's not working.
Well, we did. Mrs. Savari, we did put in the new speaker system. It was approved last council meeting. It was the lowest bid that came in, and the administrator will schedule a time to have the new installation take place as soon as possible. And
Yeah,
that
would be nice. What I wanted to bring up, and I know that, this meeting is really about welcoming the new council people, which congratulations to everybody who's made it onto the council. You have a long road ahead of you, probably a difficult one at that. I'm actually want to bring up the fact that we had a resident here in town who was hit by a car on Floyd and Palisade Avenue. Since then, many evenings when I'm driving down Floyd Street toward Palisade Avenue, there is no light on that corner where the bus stop is and those office buildings are, and it is pitch black. And I've seen people walking across, and you can barely notice the pedestrians walking across that street, especially now that it gets dark really early. So I know that the borough probably isn't responsible for lighting and it's probably PSE&G. But I'd like to urge whoever it is on the council who's going to be responsible for lighting in town to please try to see what we can do to get some lighting on that corner because it's really, really dangerous. And like I said, it's already been an issue prior. And I'd hate to see anybody else wind up getting hit by a vehicle on that corner, but it is really, really dark there. So I wanted to bring it up and hope that somebody will run with this and take care of it.
Mrs. Savari, just so you know, there was a resident on Charlotte Place with similar concerns. I reached out and nothing really happened, but then I was able to obtain the direct contact with PSE&G. Mr. Neville signed off on it then after I reached out to this person from PSE&G, and about 2 months later, they didn't only install one light up by the upper school, they installed 2 lights by the upper school. So I will follow up on that as soon as I possibly can. I will alert the new borough administrator, the administrator. I will alert also Mr. Neville, and I will also copy the email to our very good contact with PSE&G. He seems very responsive. Thank you for bringing it up. I know there's a lot of dangerous intersections in town that really need to have attention. Thank you.
Thank you. And there's just one other thing that I wanted to bring up, and I'm sorry, but I could not get through. I was trying to express and to wave my hand, but it wasn't working. The only other thing that I wanted to bring up was the park situation. And I wanted to know, did we send out bids yet for the park renovations? Like, what is going on? It's been silent. Are we going to send this out to bid? When is this happening? I mean, if we're going to try to do equipment for the south side sometime in February or March, I'm just not understanding. Where are we? What's going on with the parks?
I'll respond. I had a discussion last evening, and I or someone, I believe I will make a motion to reconstitute a smaller version of the park committee. The park committee was a huge help to the council the last time around, and I think choosing some members, a smaller committee will be a huge help to us this time around. Yes, we need to keep I totally agree with you. Things have taken way too long, and we have to move this forward. And we need to get the bids ready, and we need to coordinate that with the borough administrator also. So there's a plan in progress to make this go forward fast.
Oh, nice. Okay, yeah. So tonight we're gonna discuss about the park committee.
Sure.
Okay. Well, and let's discuss about the it's about to a smaller organization like this.
It's not.
Yeah, okay.
You tell me when it's the appropriate time to make the motion, and I'll make the motion.
Okay. We will discuss a little bit. Okay. To close?
Yes. We all. Motion.
Okay.
Be all in favor.
This one.
It's however you want to do it. If you want to read the list of professionals that you want to appoint in the first section, I think you should at least keep it to the professionals versus the staff. So if you do these professionals, you could read your list of you have nominations. And then I guess the council, to the extent that there's some they agree on and they want to just speak out.
No, Jeremy, that's I don't do styles.
If you have the name, there, it's happening. Have you down here?
Oh, yeah, okay.
Right, so that's mayor.
Yes. This one. Okay.
Dr. O'Bailey and that's for For Labor Council, the mayor proposed 2 is Cleary Jacoby, and the other is the law office of Rich Malagiri.
Can you just recap who has been appointed, what has been tabled, because I don't.
Councilman, I would suggest we go through all of them and then and recap everyone's.
Okay.
Some concept. Special council. Sorry. We find special council.
Special counsel again to me.
Yeah, I can read through the list. If everything real quick, I'll make sure I have it right. So borough attorney, that would be me, as well as Pete mentioned Collins. There's no nomination at the moment. For engineer, it's two. One is Neglia, the other one is Van Cleef. For conflict engineer, it would be the same two, Neglia and Van Cleef. For bond counsel, it's Rogart McCarthy, that's the name of the firm. For tax appeal attorney, the firm is Nogard, Boyle, and Hannon. There's no current nomination for municipal planner, conflict planner, or insurance risk manager. For labor council, there'd be two nominations. Two firms proposed, Cleary Jacoby and the law offices of Rich Malagiri. There's no nomination for appraisal services. For special litigation counsel, it's the law offices of Donald Burke and the law offices of Richard Malagiri. For special investigation counsel, it's the law offices of Richard Malagiri and then the Nogard O'Boyle or Hannon firm. There's no nomination for financial advisor. There's no, no nomination for financial advisor. For affordable housing council, it would be Jerry Dasty, law offices of Donald Burke, law offices of Richard Malagiri. That's the same thing for affordable housing council litigation. So same for affordable housing council and affordable housing litigation, those three firms. No nomination for affordable housing planner, no nomination for affordable housing financial advisor. Is a planner. Then you could do that if they're both law firms. Then you may need to have somebody else, but yeah. Planner is usually a planning professional, like an engineer, but a planner. Planner, yes, planner. Tabling for housing financial advisor. For conflict attorney, it's the same, the three general firms that we were talking about, the Donald Burke firm, the Richard Malagiri firm. That's the conflicts, and I think also Richard Malagiri, yes, there, three of those firms. I'm sorry, and also Nogard, the Nogard firm. That's the same for special investigation counsel, the Nogard firm, Malagiri firm. And for special counsel, it's the same three, Nogard, Burke, Malagiri, but also the law offices of Sarakin. So those would be the nominations. I don't know what number 30. Consultants. Yes. IT consultant. Computer. Also computer. Municipal IT consultant. Yes. Computer.
Will I make it's a time for discussion or, okay. For bond counsel, I would like, if possible, to see Dakotas as bond counsel, lead a bond counsel. That's a full service law firm, big firm. I think they would serve us well as bond counsel. Can we make that change? Well,
Motion.
I don't know if we can make a motion.
Yeah, we have to do something.
Okay, right, so I'm telling you what my thoughts are now, and then let's go through the right procedures.
I would like to make a motion, Mayor.
Okay, first of all, you.
Mayor, because it's your nomination, I think what David is suggesting is. If leaves, I think David is saying that he made a move on this one. Yes, if it was Dakota, so I think he's suggesting.
You could,
Yeah.
forget them. You could pick the two, I would pick the colors first. Yeah. Okay, that's okay, I'm gonna put it together. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Yes, Councilwoman.
Can you hear me?
I can, yes.
Okay, I would like to ask anybody who's sitting up on the dais this evening, if any of these attorneys that they have put forth are representing them in any suits, lawsuits that are ongoing.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Who is that? Who answered that?
I didn't work if I remember correctly.
I can't hear what was the answer. Yes. To represent this body, the law firm of Flint and you're appointing them as the counsel in this town. Absolutely. Absolutely. I can't hear you, Mr. Cole.
It's me, it's Rivka talking.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes,
Is Frank representing you?
yes, you know the lawsuit is going on from Mr. White running around here. Okay, so Mr. Burke is one of the attorneys. And he's very, very good and I trust him. And he asked you that. I'll just answer your question why I support him.
Mr. Watson, you don't tell me the two of you something you
Are you? I'm watching appointing you and he's representing you. It's like a free throw.
I don't know what it looks to you, but I know it looks to me.
This correct. And I feel defining accusing yourself from the votes. Okay, I'll do that. Just a second. And then as anything else of these attorneys.
Suggest, Mayor, is that perhaps it's to do with a meeting coming up soon, perhaps if you table some of the ones that have either table the categories or table the firms that may have a conflict, look into it and advise. I don't really give the cup advice, not only off the cuff for me, it's public. I'd rather opportunity to advise the governing body on whether or not there is or isn't a conflict for any number of people. It's with regard to instances where attorneys can represent individual governing body members and the municipality. There's also differences about when you can and can't vote and what the representations are. And I'm not comfortable doing it on the fly in public where it could be an issue.
I just, I requested it's really disappointing to me that these were read out to us and request over a week. I submitted stuff to me that we felt that we would like to see and get no response and to find out that you're appointing people, attempting to appoint people that are personally representing you. I think that something that should have been at least give us advance notice, and at least had to have the courtesy of replying to my request for the professional appointments are going to and straight over that decision, I think and I think that for Mr. Minch to give us a proper legal opinion
I think we should just do the whole exception of maybe Mr. Lynch is here, so we should actually take the head thing and just do it as a whole until we get clarification, because I seriously think personally, I'm not an attorney. I'm a very good councilman by some people, but I think that it raises some truth about presenting you at the current time. So, and then it personally bothers me that I was reached out and asked that you had some type of communication on what the construction appointments were going to be. So I'd like to make a motion to take just do a whole day. So at least at the very beginning, excuse or until I assume this proceeding with this and I think if we do to recuse, we might be happy with the results.
Let's start it.
That's actually as you know, I special counsel is a very candidate politically. It's so us. It's one. So this one is I don't know. So we have to this is complicated as they are. And that courses here, the pilot, the pilot special counsel doing it can be this is a money. So we got the commission with the service and the user of their yes, it's actually the person else. This one, okay. So we could catch up the that's my position. So this is I'm just pointing to the fact that I think it's concerning. I didn't say anything. I just said I think it's a concern that the issue was raised. And listen, I wouldn't tell you one of them. I was finding issues I make a motion to move forward. I'm trying. I didn't blame anybody. I'm just pointing out the facts. It's very important. On the list that I represent Preston Council members also. So perhaps it was a go. Well, can you expand on that? Yes. Who do you represent? You and I. And this list, I believe so. When I represent this person, David, it's we're not personal terms. Okay. They're being supplied to us by the borough. It makes us significantly different. It's the environmental. I know that's right. That's the difference. This is something that we assumed in an official capacity. You can run a lawsuit in personal capacity. And if someone sues you, the borough and the GIF, just as David and by Captain McNair suing us for $11 million. Yeah, okay. That's the, and I can't believe you think that that's the same as staying involved personal. It's not personal. I'm being protected. I was brought my name from the table.
I have no issue with voting for the borough attorney at this moment. The rest, the mayor, there was just no discussion with the Democratic members of this council. And I just foresee problems in the future. You have to understand that, if one of the council members on this list does not attend the meeting, what's going to happen based on past experience where there's gonna be a motion that the appointed professional be fired, and it's gonna be, and whoever who's present at that council meeting, that's what's gonna that's gonna happen. So to avoid some heartache, maybe we should adjourn, table these issues to the next meeting. And if the council members can agree, come to reach an agreement and compromise on these appointments, I think it would save a lot of stress and a little politics that you should play at future meetings throughout the year.
First of all, Mr. Walsh raised the question, a legal question, and therefore I think we should table it.
So I understand that. I agree with your motion, but I'm just making a suggestion.
Just believe step, your opinion about it. And there is the opinions about it. Yes or no.
It's raising another issue. Yeah.
Decision, yes.
I think that we need to
Let's move on to the 20th.
go through council candidates, but we should do the attorney, our local attorney appointed post haste, and then we can specify further, but let's get that out of the way, so he's on board.
Correct. But I can actually give us some place.
Listen, even if we dodge for Mr. Mensch tonight, which I think you will agree with, everyone's told all of this. But I make the motion to go for a vote. I'm sure we want to go for a vote. I want to hear how you would vote. So it doesn't matter. But I think we can table the whole thing. Mr. Mensch, please jump in. He's going to be a holdover regardless. So if you want to separate, by all means separate. Yeah, you don't have to, you don't have to. I'll make the recommendation to call the mayor.
It's most prudent, and I agree with Councilor Kim, that we appoint, and I would suggest to the mayor that we appoint the borough attorney, Matthew Lynch, as our borough attorney, and then he can review all of the, take his time to review all of the other attorneys and give us his.
I think procedurally, the mayor has to do that.
So yes, the mayor is, you hated nominations for those positions. There's two, I think, I'm sure what's actually been motion and seconded. There's two different proposals. One is to vote on me, and then table the rest. The other is to table everything. That's really the discussion for all of you and how you want to hit it. Councilor Luciano's point is that as the borough attorney, there's not a nomination made, then it stays at 30 days. So that's next. So that's the question. So I don't know what actually been motion and seconded. Right now, everything's been on the table by the mayor. If somebody wants to make a motion for me or any other positions, if you think you can make the motion. So
when that, the mayor was obviously I'll make a motion to accept it. So let me go a second.
To accept.
I get some motion on the floor.
Okay.
You have a second.
There's no second to that at the moment.
Second. It's simple. In a section, I'll take the question. You want to take a vote on the question?
Yeah. Just a second. We can motion, and then we can kind of motion to table at the time.
Just mention the floor.
There's a motion. Seconded. Should to table that motion and then.
The motion to table.
There's a motion to approve everything. Yes. There's a second. There's a motion to table, a motion to approve everything, and a second. The vote would be on the motion, everything.
Right.
And then if people want to do individuals, they can.
Okay,
Yeah, pending. I'm not gonna, I don't have to take precedent on my. See it.
My question is to the counselor. What's the effect of the conflict in the?
I don't think there. I'm not saying that there's a conflict on the ultimate appointments to begin with.
Okay.
But I think that a motion to table, I don't believe that there's a conflict on them voting on a motion to table. The motion to approve that we're trying to table because they have conflicts. So they don't look at it.
Okay.
Can I get a?
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, the motion to table, I think we need to work on that. And then if anybody anything else, they can. So they're gonna like.
The motion to table by Mr. Chen. And second by Mills. What is, what are we tabling, everything?
Yeah, yes.
Motion to table everything as blocked.
Okay, thank you. Member Kim,
Yes.
Member Simon? Yes. Member Luciano?
No.
Member Guerrero?
Yes.
Member Briggs?
Yes.
Member Bennett?
Yes.
And passes.
So that motion to table,
Motion to table.
the motion to on everything at the block has been tabled. If anybody wants to on anything individually, they can. To the.
I'm going to make a motion at this point. To appoint all of the attorneys that Mayor Park mentioned, with the exception of Mr. Burke. That will give our borough attorney the time to review and make his give us his legal advice. So do I have a second?
Second. Someone at this point, so.
So. You want me to say it again?
Let's just accept.
Motion to accept all of the mayor's appointments with the exception of Burke. Pending Matthew Lynch, our attorney's advice.
Second. Kim?
What are we voting on?
So the attorney except for.
All the attorneys have set for that.
Yeah, no.
Member Simon? No. Member Luciano? Member Guerrero?
Yes.
Member Briggs? Yes. Member Bennett?
Yes. Yes. There was no motion at the moment on the engineers. I believe are the only other professional in that group. If you table or motion or whatever, but 24-14, the mayor's nomination of negligent Van Cleve.
You can appreciate it.
Not.
No. Okay, you make your motions for all the attorneys.
Okay, so now I'll make a motion to.
Actually, if I, as the point of work, I believe, it was just computer.
Okay, so I'll make a motion for the and motion computer and the computer.
This is our.
Okay.
And who?
And Van Cleve.
The second? Member Flynn?
No.
Member Simon? No. Member Guerrero?
Yes.
Member Briggs? Yes. Member Lang? Yes. Mr. Jack?
You're good through all of this stuff.
Well. Yeah, I think that was for.
So who's supposed to manage? That's first. Can I be recognized first? Okay. I'd like to make a motion since the court is open, that we have to Mr. Which as affordable housing attorney, to make it official, we have a court order that said he's to stay on the case, and so it's a motion to
He's on the case for 3 issues.
3 issues. So I'm gonna make a motion to appoint this affordable housing authority to affordable housing council, affordable housing litigation, and that's my motion. Second.
Member Quinn,
Yes.
Member Simon,
Yes.
Member Solano,
Aye.
Member Rivera, Member Williams, Member Yang. And Sakash.
Mr. Watch. That's why they should not be here. Since we had 2 council members and
Well, similar to the last thing, like, I'm not gonna typically go completely off the cuff and give legal advice in public, especially when I haven't had an opportunity to review that in detail. I do think that there's conflict, but the vote that they're being asked to take is whether or not they vote to approve an attorney who is adverse to them. Which in and of itself, if they don't vote, either there's a law that may say that if they were to recuse because of a direct conflict, that the quorum number changes, which means you need a different number of packs. But if that's not the case, and the normal quorum rules would apply, that would suggest that they would be forced, if they don't vote no, to be represented by a lawyer who's personally suing them, which is also in solve a problem. So it's an issue, and they are forced to be represented by somebody who's adverse to them. So I'm saying they are adverse to Mr. Wunsch. So.
Mr. Munch. It's no good. This is a good question. Okay, let's go forward. So sure, but just dismissed. And
So 34.
Okay, so just because I never go on with
Functions in that one, you have others.
it's 34, okay. Compliance office also Jerry Bobby doing. Person office is same. Including also same. So, across the department had team. Sorry, but my list is nowhere like yours, so I'm going to be confused.
St. Joe Barrows for Borough Administrator, Compliance Officer, Personnel Officer. I didn't get your Insurance Fund Commissioner. Your nomination for the Insurance Fund Commissioner. Yeah.
Okay. So same food. And the court trust is Kathy and the property office is Fabulous. It's a current.
Drowning, yeah, I'm so. It's so cool. And for finding. Electrical systems so open. So good things happen to a pump support, I'm sorry. Pumps, okay, and also cycle. So. So just a table. Don't episode of this discussion. Second.
A motion to table, Mayor, I would like to motion to table it. Can we open for discussion?
Not on. So that motion is second thing. So show first the right. Mr. Manchin. Don't you do it? Seconds like that, right? Any calls for a vote? That's right.
But we can leave the session, class and vote. We're just not. So,
Yeah, you can be recognized after and we'll be to recognize him.
yes.
24 I know introduce that.
Yeah.
Member Ken,
Yes.
Member Simon? Yes. Member Solano? Member Rivera? Member Lewis? No. Member Lang?
No. Discussion? Yep, no, okay.
So discussion, this is that's back. And you have time to discuss. Okay.
Yeah, Mayor, again, these nominations were presented, even though we had requested, that these may be presented to us or proposed to us, this afternoon at 1:00. We received draft copies for the appointment of the borough administrator for Joe Butler, which outlined his salary requirements, as well as the appointment of what was that? GMA, yeah, with the hourly fee. Now, Jerry Butler, this is the same Jerry Butler that had quit in 2003, after working 6 months. Less than 6 months. I understand that at the time it was for personal reasons, but his performance at that time, although he's a gentleman, the Democratic Council members at that time were still not very satisfied with his performance. Additionally, that was proposed in the draft resolution. If you add up and do the math, it would be close to 4 times more than currently paying borough administrator. Borough administrators pay $90,000 a year, $95,000 a year, and Jerry, the proposed payment for salary for Jerry would be $165,000 a year.
$18,000 for so
Correct.
I'm sorry, I'm not.
Yeah, this presents a very difficult issue for us, at least the Democratic Council members. And like I said, if you want to avoid, fire based on motions in future council meetings, it should be tabled so that we can discuss this matter and possibly present it at the next meeting. So that is what I would because I don't need to disrespect you in any way, but this is just the reality of the politics that will be played out in the future And, you know, I would move that we table this issue for now.
So we'll consider and then confess you. Just a lot of points and just for about it. I was the piece of the good experience with the other nice active iron. I would have to so I really I'm excited. That's why I'm looking to you. I don't know, just thinking about also just a little less. It's okay. I can think for so many people for which one is the mayor side? Okay, so that's so I've been requesting as a way for position instead of having to go through now $5,000. And I've just as much experience as a borough administrator as Mr. Bavarian. Lives down a resident, a very good resident, $85,000 a year. We get to number 456, 165 for someone that's going to work all the time. I didn't even, first it's going to be the schedule, okay? Then it's going to be 168,000, and then we're also going to hire a consultant, okay? The consultant came in last time after Mr. Rivera left and was amazed at how great our budget was when it was left in such good shape. So you're going to get $78,000. So now you're going, taxpayers, this should make the hair on the back of your neck stand up. $95,000. That's much of 23,000. Okay. So, 165, we don't have to concern for. So things that couldn't come out in the communication that I'm trying to open up a week ago. Okay, I see that he took the information that I submitted to him on a sheet and crossed out and is presenting it in tonight, and then presenting it to us. As far as I know, As a matter of fact, when I see them come in, Mr. Bavarian, I don't think they're never Mr. Bavarian. Okay. So to me, going from $95,000 in the tax code, it comes into the council. Okay. Okay, don't disrespect to Mr. Bavarian. To go from 85 to 155, you can certainly for $17,000 a month, which makes it almost $400,000. We got infrastructure problems. Like we said, we got to sit there and look at it. That's I said, how do you go from 95 to 40? About it. So just go about it. But that's our concern. And this meeting could be a lot smoother than we just had. And so whenever you can say, before this, these are the issues that we have. Conflict, 400 for 95. So that's the issue that we have with your taxpaying money, which you can't worry about it. So that's my thank you.
I've been for right. But so that means we didn't have to pay towards the pension and we didn't have to pay for medical. And it's a big question.
I did, Councilman, I did sort of put together the resolutions that Councilman Luciano is referring to. So one, I think that I believe that there would be pension. And I assume it would be. I don't know. I think that. So it would be a pension associated with it. The only other comment, just to make sure everyone is clear, when it comes to the salary, it just if my resolutions were not clear, and I know that you couldn't have read, so I haven't had a chance to read them. The will be part-time for now through 8 years. At the hourly rate that's in their resolution, I said $80 an hour, but yes. It's in there, it's about 20 hours a week. So if you 20 hours a week through April, and GMA would be there just during that time to supplement the time when Commissioner Barbiero can't be there, they'd be essentially on, I don't want to say on standby, but if necessary. And they would be paid an hourly rate as needed through a cap. So it's not a flat monthly fee. It's only they get paid per hour that they work as needed, as directed by Mr. Barbiero, who would be the administrator. And then then just be Mr. Barbiero, his annual salary rate. So that could be the quote. So in April, Mr. Barbiero will be working full time. He'll be working days here, 35 hours or work week. The hourly rate for Mr. Barbiero in the meantime will be $80 an hour. And what about the pension? At the part-time rate, and then his salary, the annual salary, $168,000 a year starting in April. Responsible. Okay. The consultant's rate is higher. It could be 180. It's 180. It's 180. A cap of sorry, 17,000, but that is needed. So, that's things sort of within the same page. Whether you like those proposals, you are, but that's what's being proposed.
The borough administrator is one of the most important jobs in our borough. And again, not saying bad about Jerry Barbaro, but we did try this with Mr. Barbaro before in 2003. He was part-time at that time, and during that time, almost nothing was coming. Unfortunately, I voted for him and hiring him at that time. So trust me, I don't want to say no, but this is not the right decision. This is a decision that we're gonna fight every month, every mayor and council meeting, and terminate for this year. I guarantee you that. So I would rather that we discuss this and reach a sort of compromise on this issue than vote on this particular issue today.
So it's very concerning to me about the month. I mean, but so what are the 20 hours? Does Mr. Barbiero have Barbaro? I'm sorry, Jerry, I'm butchering your last names. I apologize. What's his schedule? Because we even had an issue with the schedule the last time. Because in all honesty, I personally think that, we were trying to work with him, and we really think, that we did. And I don't know if he's still in another position right now, but for an administrator, as much as we've harped on how much the administrator needs to be here and active, if the administrator is going to be here from 6 o'clock in the morning till 8 o'clock in the morning, it does nothing. If they're going to be here from 5 o'clock in the afternoon till 7 o'clock at night, it does nothing for the people. The administrator should be here for the residents to run the borough. You can't run the borough if no one is on here. So just to be here to get paid your hourly rate when you're not managing the borough, to me, doesn't make any sense. And then, so if he's not gonna be here on the said schedule, and then we're gonna have the consultant here from not being paid $80 an hour, but being paid $180 an hour, that's even more concerning to me. It's just, I just think, unfortunately, even though we reached out and tried to communicate, I think all of this right now and the delay of this meeting is because of the reason that our Republican friends and neighbors refused to provide any information to us until tonight. Okay, where we could have possibly had some kind of communication and expressed our, and you know what? If you, once you express it and you know, number, you have to accept it. But I mean, you have to accept the vote, not to accept the outcome. But I just think I reached out, was maybe inspired to. That's why this vote, this night is going on for long. And Councilman Kim is absolutely right. I mean, just like you guys am, not you personally. So I'm not talking about you personally. I'm talking about one personally, but you weren't here. Okay, but the ambush is going to continue. I don't want it to, and we extended our hand to say, let's work together. And you know what? Our hand was smacked away. So if you think that it's going to go better from this point, especially the way this is proceeding right now, I hate to say it's not. And all I'll say is none of us should miss a meeting. And when it's determined that you can't vote, it's going to be even a bigger problem. So instead of working cooperatively, I look forward to working with you and seeing how it goes.
Just Mr. Mayor had asked me a question, just to make sure that everyone is aware that with the administrator, once you appoint an administrator, you cannot remove an administrator except with a supermajority vote. Other appointments, that's not the case. So, you know, other things, you know, theoretically, it can be removed with a full one. But council members that I care. Motion to table
Second to
2434 through 2444.
Second, table, take the vote.
Member Kim,
Yes.
Member Simon? Member Simon? Member Simon, you still there?
Did you drop it off?
Member Simon? Member Luciano?
Table, yes.
Member Di Gregorio?
No, no.
Member Begets? No. Member Green? Member Simon? Member Simon, can you hear me?
I don't see the phone signal up there, so I don't know if she got dropped. So your phone.
Member Simon?
Sorry to tell you, but she was not working at the council, and I had I was. But can you get back to me? She won.
It's the luxury of technology.
Member Simon?
Yes, yeah, I'm sorry.
No, we just.
Just tell them that.
Yes, Councilwoman, it's a motion to table made by Councilman Kim, seconded by Councilman Luciano. To table all of the mayor's employee and staff nominations. Everyone has voted by you. 3 votes against tabling, 2 votes in favor of tabling.
Sorry, I just give me, the heat in the house isn't working, and I'm just.
So how do you vote?
Yeah, it'd be, you know, and just make sure everyone is clear, through the minute career for Richard Barrier. So we are, also include a vote to, from your current administrator. And we drafted that separately, but it's inherent in the fact that you're appointing somebody else. I just want to make sure that. It's not.
Now we just go back to the vote.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr.
Councilman.
Member Simon?
The mayor's appointments to the staff, for the administrator, and the staff.
No, thank you. Member Luciano?
No.
Member Rivera?
Yes.
Member Brooks?
Yes.
Member Lang?
Yes. Robert. Okay, we start,
Who's before?
got you, news for call, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Rules for call or asking, I'm gonna call for Anthony. I think the prosecutor, we will think about later on, also I didn't respond to. Yes. Probably Kevin Carson, yes.
That's the same as this right now?
Yes. Washington.
Second.
Washington.
So the motion, I can. So we make a motion for 45 to 47.
Second.
Number 10,
No.
number 7. Yes. Member Luciano?
No.
Member Rivera?
Yes.
Member Yes?
Yes.
Member Leon?
Yeah.
It passes.
And item 12, mayor's appoints food guidance board.
Yes.
Okay. Maybe we can cover for the word, there's a problem was a school left on, right? So I think just the it's not on as well. So that's cool. So I think it's so commission for so all the kids can come and let's go. Who's the class 3?
That's who who's coming.
What they find there, there was Maria Lowry. First, class 2.
Class 2, okay.
So appointed to the environmental commission. And then Rivka for the class 3. Ilias Titus, sorry if I'm butchering the name, for the mayor's designee, and then Kinga Zemecki for the class 4 alternate 2. And those are mayor's appointments that. They don't need a motion. And you can just appoint mayor, you can just read them. You can let the clerk know who they are.
About the concern of the park committee. Okay. We constitute a smaller version of the park committee consisting of Sabari, Karen Geiger, and Billy Theodorakis. So I make a motion to reconstitute in the smaller version the park committee to give counsel and advice to the governing body.
That'd be a subcommittee, right?
I think they will be giving us all the information that we want. I think they'll be giving us all the information that we require. You know them, you can call them. You may call them, I'm sure you can call them.
Can I add one person to the committee? Then you are committee? And the person to the committee, Tim Petrobus, he worked on the other part before, and he's a lot of knowledge.
I think he could serve well, but I think that what we need to do is to just appoint the 3 core people first, and then let's discuss it afterwards, if you wouldn't mind doing that. I mean, I agree with.
To edit right away, so you work together right away, not, with stages. The one before, the one that you have, and work it and do it the right way.
I don't have, of course, I don't have strong objections to that. So let's go with that.
Yes.
That motion. Yeah.
Second? This person keeps talking. Number 10?
No.
Number 7? No. Number 7? Number
Yes.
Number yes?
Yes.
Number yes. Mr. Type?
Yes.
Okay. I think we're in council liaisons.
Also, you want to try, where is the council liaison? Just to prove, sorry. I have to go ahead.
I don't have it. The local emergency council is the people listed there. And then the standing committees is your is.
These are what? These are there to the Board of Education, change of council, Board of Health.
Yeah, so
I say council liaison, I have front there, I switch that.
Board of Education. Mr. David, Division.
To the board there.
The time of comments because house Simon.
Did you hear that? Did you hear that? It was under the Congress Chamber of Commerce.
So the comments are going to be on the. Okay, motion. Motion to.
You need a motion for that? To accept it,
Yeah, these are not, their appointments, right? They have to, yeah,
Council needs, I think you need a motion on.
yeah, I think so.
Make a motion for the liaisons, let me just take a look, but I'm just a little distracted. Board of Education, that was also me, Chamber of Commerce is, that's in Board of Health. Okay, motion.
second,
Automatic, but I have to discuss it. Shouldn't be me asking for discussion.
Okay, you want to discuss?
Okay, I don't, if someone asks me about discussion.
Are you voting? Are you voting?
yes,
No.
Member Simon? No. Member Luciano?
No.
Member Di Girolamo?
Yes.
Member DeGrasse?
Yes.
Member Yang?
Yes.
It's a tie.
Yes. Eighteen, right? That is, red with this, positions. Having the local emergency planning counselor. Ordinate, sale, spectrum, fire two, fire department, health office. Infection control. Police chief, police captain, police lieutenant, public safety chair, sanitary inspector, superintendent of schools, superintendent of public works, tax assess damages. Those one is a same as a current one, right? Okay.
All the same.
All the same, okay. We will talk about second what is position. Sure, one is. So, okay. Item 16, standing committee of the council. Okay, this is also very difficult. I choose the following members for council committee. The first name, I read, shall be chair of the committee. Let me go through the rules of the committees before any discussions. Okay. I put on the public safety, because Kim, because Kim, Wong, Langton, Seven, Roger, Kim, transportation, Kim, Seven. And six, six, sanitation, sound, prevention, and classes, education, cycle, silent, prevention, historical, prevention, classes. Silent,
I think that's what the technology or the last one you mentioned. So the last.
Yeah, we have.
When you mentioned technology, I'm talking about how standing the city as technology as a procedure.
It's not in the bylaw, it's not listed as a standing committee, so you have to vote for it, please.
You have to also have to create it. It's not something that's a.
You don't use me, bring him. Which one?
It's okay, we're gonna go 3-3, why don't we just make it easy so we know.
After that, you don't have to, so for add-on, just.
That would be created. So,
Talk to you later.
Yes, I would, right now, I would forget about the technology and the public works committee. Do the vote on your other standing committees, and then you could have a separate vote on the public works technology committee. It's a slight nuance and actually could.
No matter public works, something we have to change. I'm just talking procedurally.
Average rights. Isn't that just the same as the projected?
Yes, it is.
I just have to, okay, then
You don't need this committee.
Total feeling that this one probably was something.
So the
Sano and the PLPs.
okay.
And what the technology was.
Can you repeat those?
Yes, Mr. Paul, let's make sure I have them correctly. For public safety, we have the graphs. Then, lighting, we have Luciano, Kim, and Lily. Transportation, we have Kim, Leanne, Luciano, building grounds, and Leanne, and the Gats. To be done with public works, you have David, Luciano, the Gats. Finance, Leanne, Kim, and the Gats.
Second, I apologize. Gregorio, Luciano, who for DPW?
For DPW.
Yes, thank you.
This is Leanne, Kim, and the Gats. Recreation, the Gats, Leanne. Sanitation, Simon, Leanne. The Gats, Kim, Leanne. Beautification, Luciano, recycling, and have the Gats on 2000.
Yes, sure.
Recycling?
Recycling.
Okay, I did miss one. The Gats, yes. Historical, I have the Gats and Luciano. Clean communities, I have Luciano, Simon, Lorraine. Economic development, I have the Gats and Lorraine. The agenda committee, I have the Gats and.
Can I ask a question, please? I heard, that, and thank you, Councilman Liang, son is a member of the fire department. So I think you're gonna be required to recuse yourself from any post that have to do with public safety. So I just wanted to make sure that
you want to continue with that committee as being Begets and Kim and Liang, because Liang is not going to be able to do any voting. And shouldn't really be involved in a discussion in the public safety committee with the son of the parents. So I just want to make sure that we want to continue with that.
You want to respect, Councilman, I don't see any problem with that.
This is debate. That's the excellence. This is repeated. It's easy for it. So I'm just pointing it out because it's a family. Sex, that's public safety, you're going to be able to push yourself or at least substantial. And I'll take advisory from legal counsel and necessarily from counsel.
Yeah, so listen, given the fact that it's probably a committee is just an advisory group with regard to the council, it's less of an issue in terms of if not voting on something with appropriating money. Now that could be an issue, if you're somebody we could talk about that separately with regard to if there's appropriations for the fire departments, things like that. There may be instances where you'd have to accuse yourself. I'll get through that. The other thing I do want to mention, Councilman Luciano had asked me before the meeting to take a look at questions. I just want to make sure, Councilman, in answer to your question to me earlier, these committees, the bylaws require a majority of the council. It does not suggest that the mayor breaks the tie. It says that if the council cannot decide on a majority of these appointments, then it's left to the hands of the council to come up with this. So I just you asked me to look at that, and I want to make sure that that's clear. That this is not under the bylaws. There's no provision for the mayor to break a tie with regard to the committee appointments. What would essentially happen if you all did presumably work it out would be that whoever is on the prior committees would stay on because I was talking about changing assignments. So for those of you who were on the council before, you at least for now stay on. And what we would do with the new members in terms of being on committees, or you essentially be forced to work it out amongst yourselves, or arguably there's either no committees or old committees. I don't know how you handle new committee members.
Every council person acts as if they're the mayor in this town. That's how the way for the past year the standing committees have operated, at least in what I've seen and observed. So in the end,
Somehow I feel that it makes some sense, well, this is 15 committees. I'm saying, the committees here. So the other things you have to sort of, and that's no figures. You can't. Really must have it's just a very fine category. So the committees to figure it out. So, so let's go to the question.
Well, we're gonna have to vote on it anyway. Made recommendations. If the council agrees on, some, theoretically, you could take one, but it's up to the council.
Yeah, they agree. These, like I said, in my personal experience, everybody acts as if like they're the chair or the mayor of the council. Every council president acts that way anyway. So these are just mere formalities. But again, I would like to rather discuss these particular issues. We reached out, we sent an email to the mayor, now mayor, Mayor Park, and we hadn't had a response for a week. I did reach out to Mayor Park yesterday as well by telephone call. And we really didn't receive anything. So, the vote is going to be what it is. But I don't mind taking a vote on it.
I'm sorry, Councilman, I didn't hear you. I said we heard that already, many times from you, from him. So let's move forward. You want to vote, you don't want to, what do you do?
Let's vote.
Okay, that's all.
Yeah, let's vote.
Member Kim?
No.
Member Simon?
No.
Member Luciano?
No.
Member Di Gregorio?
Yes.
Member Begets?
Yes.
Member Liang?
So, right, so it's now that fails, the mayor is a very good eye on these. So, I guess what I would recommend is that, the meeting is, when's next meeting? Wednesday?
That's fun stuff.
Wow, so close. If the council works themselves, the mayor can be involved in the conversations, but to the extent that everyone comes to agreement on the committee appointments, then the council essentially would make it at the next meeting, or whenever you figure it out. You can pick, you could agree on some and others. I mean, you guys can figure it out amongst yourselves. If it doesn't get resolved within a couple, a meeting or two, solution to you, I'll go through that with this one.
Yes.
Because I don't see it.
Suggestions, yes, because we're kind of hearing this at a quarter to 10. Okay, I will send it out to you tomorrow.
Time, so I'm going to discuss the furthermore. Okay. Yes, okay.
So the suggestion that we use on council, there's been relatively little committee activity. And I think maybe this impasse is an opportunity at the same time. As an aside, we've got all these lists here, and we've got all of these committees. Some of them are useful, some of them are just fillers. Maybe it's an opportunity for the council to work together, being idealistic, to come up with a solution, and with committees that can actually really do work, and report to the council and to the governing body and the public. And for our council, I would ask, the use of Google Docs is very, very useful to put a form on Google Docs and share it with everyone. Is that breaking any kind of open?
I don't love the idea of like a shared doc that everyone is basically using to kind of actively collaborate in. So we have to talk through that. So we're basically having a virtual meeting through a Google Doc, and we have a problem, or I don't even know how you open that, but we figure it out. Somebody would figure it out, and now we have to figure out how we produce a response to it over as a live Google Doc. And
Mr. Mayor, I have a question. So if the park committee was technically a committee of the council, I believe that should fall with the same committee rules as our standing committees, and would require a 4-vote majority without the mayor breaking the tie. Can we please get clarification on that?
I don't think so. I have to double check. I think that the rule specifically, and I had it up before, the bylaws specifically talk about standing committees, which is what the ones that we talked about, the ones enumerated within the bylaws. As you pointed out, there's at least the one technology committee, which is not a standing committee that requires special vote. I think an ad hoc committee, which is the regular vote. But Councilman, I will confirm that. And if it is, then we come back to the next meeting and we can review the park committee. I think that it's just, when I looked at it the last time, I think it was just the standing committees, the normal ones you have in your bylaws. I think the special committees would be a normal vote.
Okay. May I just respond to Councilman DiGregorio? I know that I met with my committees and my committee chairs, and I attended all the meetings that I was required to. So I'm really not sure exactly what committees you didn't pay attention as well, because you were invited to a number of my committee meetings and didn't attend. And you have to forgive me, guys, I'm really sick. I have no heat in the house. And so I hope we can wrap this up, because I don't know how much longer I can stay on.
I think we're done, aren't we? Yeah. I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I think we need to do a resolution for the borough administrator.
I think what the councilman is asking is that, the three actions that the council, we discussed earlier with regard to the appointment of the administrator, which essentially was the three actions discussed. It was removing, not keeping your current administrator, hiring Mr. Barbiero, and hiring GMA. I think what Councilwoman Begets is asking is to make sure that the prior vote encapsulated all three of those actions. I thought it did.
Address that specifically.
Yes, that's the understanding is that we moved three. So
Just want to make sure. Second, we go out to adjourn.
what about the correct?
I'm sorry, who's seconded?
So, it's not that. Fine.
She would say, just let you adjourn the meeting.
We're not
There's
finished.
still a motion in a second.
Member Kim,
Yes.
member Simon,
Is this you? Did you adjourn the meeting?
yes, it is.
Yeah.
Member Rivera,
This is
this is to adjourn the meeting.
No.
Member Begets,
No, we're business.
member Ryan.
No.
Yes, a resolution to let Mr. Wash again. Want to pass it.
Discussion. You know, it's going on for the highest. Yeah, it's. That's fine. And you're gonna go for the first one. Even better.
Yes, sir. I know.
I think the rest of the legal expenses are gonna go significantly.
Sure.
Yeah. I was like, in the case.
Yeah. Yeah, there's gonna be a motion pending before the court by the very same judge, but we're going to continue to look at. Okay. Let's just look with her. Let's just.
Just gonna.
What the issue now?
So with the title,
Carrie, the resolution, it's been passed out as a resolution directing the borough attorney to file appropriate legal documents in Bergen County Superior Court and take any and all additional action as may be necessary and or required to sever and remove Albert H. Wunsch III Esquire from any representation of the mayor and council of the borough of Englewood Cliffs in any and all matters in which he has been involved.
Okay.
I know council members weren't. If you order this, I'm gonna tell you now, I'm not paying Mr. Dasty twice. I'm not gonna pay Mr. Dasty once, but he already has this in the works. And so, let's move it, because I want to hear you.
Begets, who seconded that?
You second? This. Oh, you second. Yes.
A second?
Member Kim,
No.
member Simon? Member Luciano? Member Di Gregorio?
Yes.
Member Begets?
Yes.
Member Ryan?
Yeah.
You.
That's right. And that, I think you better give them some advice as to what they're doing. Any other motions? So. Okay. Well. Okay, we'll come to that. Okay, we have a conversation. Thank you.
It's adjourned.
Are we done?
Yes, we are.
Done?